We have opened a new project and placed our canvas in the center of our screen. Remember that if you press the spacebar down and move your cursor over the canvas, then press the left mouse button, you can move the canvas to wherever you want it. Once you have where you want it, you can use the center mouse scroll button to set the screen to the size you need. This project is to show you how what is included in the basic properties panel that comes with your Create Studio software. Shapes, text, and icons all have the same basic controls. We are going to use a shape for our example. I'm going to pick a square to use for the demonstration of how these properties function. Use the shape selector to pick the square and place it on the canvas. Look over to the left and you will see the properties panel for the square. I have moved my timeline all the way down so that I can see all of the properties. There are an incredible amount of things you can do with these properties. First thing we will do is change the color of our square. We'll change it from a blue to a green. Click on the color selector and the color picker panel will appear. Click on the bar to select the color you want and refine it in the color detail panel about. Next, we will look at opacity. Normally we won't change this, but for this demo, we will move from 100% down to 0. As it moves down, you'll see that it fades. ADM disappears when it reaches 0. If there were text or some other image behind this square, it would become visible through the square. The next thing we want to do is scale the square to the size we want. We can make it larger or smaller to get it this size we want. After scale comes border color. The border color will be the color of that surrounds the asset we are working with. In this case, we will change that color to blue. If you look at the square, there is still no border. We must change the border width. As we scale the width up, you'll see the borders start to appear. You can make set border to the size you need. Once we have our border established, next thing we want to do is come down to the anchor point. As soon as we click anchor point, you'll notice in the center of your square a little icon that shows you where the anchor point is. The anchor point is the point at which the square will rotate around. Move the cursor outside of one of the corners or the square unit, the rounded arrows appear. Press your left mouse button and your square will rotate. Notice that it rotated around the anchor point. We just move the anchor point and it will change how the square rotates. This will be very important as you start to do animations.